For more updates, click on subscribe and click on bell button for latest notifications. Hi friends, welcome to Tech ARKIT YouTube channel. My name is Ravi. In this video session, we are going to see that the 10th video continuation to the Linux beginners guide, which is going to be a basic commands. So let's start with basic to enter what is the commands we have, and before running the commands, what is the steps we have to follow, the rules and regulations we have to follow on the Linux command line. Okay, so before you turn over to the next chapter where you are going to meet the commands, remember a few things that apply to all Unix commands. So basically, whenever you are going to enter any commands on all of the Unix based platforms, like it may be a Red Hat Linux, CentOS, Fedora or Ubuntu or whatever it is. So but these are the rules you have to follow in all of the Unix based platforms. So all Unix commands must always be entered in small case letters. So it's a case sensitive, means if you have a command in caps or small letter, something like that, you have to enter it to the exact letters, otherwise it won't execute. So if a command has any capital letters, if you enter it in a small letters, it won't work. But most of the commands are in small letters, so you have to enter it in small letters only, so otherwise the commands won't execute. So between the command name and the options that may be available with the command, there must always be a space or tab. For example, if you want to execute a ls-l is the command, so ls space -l, so that is the command you have to enter it. So here is the command, whereas -l is the option and the two have been separated by the space. So that's what the method here. Whenever you want to execute any options, you have to give the space or tab. This option is usually preceded by a minus sign, so which is called as a hyphen. The option available with the command are often known as switches. So which are the options which are the switches, like ls-l is the switch. Okay, so two or more options available with the command can usually be combined. For example, the command is ls-l-a is same as ls-la. So if you have any multiple options or the multiple switches, so you can combine after the hyphen, example after the minus sign, like that. So if you want to enter like ls-ltr, so you need to type ls-l-t-r, so you can simply combine them as ls-ltr, something like that. So that would be in a two or more options would be combined together. If you make a type mistake, press backspace to erase the characters. Don't try back using arrow keys and then attempt deleting using the del key. So basically why this is mandatory is that, so if you enter any of the command as mistakenly, example, instead of entering the ls, you just entered lsa, something like that, or instead you enter as, so instead of ls you may be entered as, then no need to enter, because we don't know that we have a command called as, so that may be a disruptive to the system, then so it will execute that command. So that's why whenever you type any mistakes, then do not enter, just press backspace or use the delete key to delete the appropriate characters, then replace with the proper characters, then enter the command. To cancel the entire command before you press enter, press Ctrl C, not Ctrl Z. Okay, so you have to press Ctrl C because it will terminate the command. If you enter Ctrl Z, it will actually send it to the background. So the Ctrl Z will keep on running the jobs in the background. Okay, so that's why you just press Ctrl C or use the delete key to delete the comment. So that's the rules you have to follow always. Okay, remember, so whenever you are typing any command mistakes, okay, that's always should be remembered, do not enter it. Okay, and whenever you copy paste from the any of the notepad or some other websites or something like that, before entering the commands, okay, so I clearly say you just copy it to the formatted versions. Example, if you are copying the HTML formatted commands to the Linux, so there may be a difference between the options. So if you see hyphen here, so there is an option sign, minus sign, but in a Windows, if you type hyphen, so it takes a two hyphens over there. So that's why whenever you are copying to the plain text based writers, example text editors like Notepad++, then from there you copy to the terminal. So that way it will avoid the mismatch, or it will avoid the command mismatches whenever copying and pasting into the terminals. So that's why, so always remember, do not just copy paste blindly. So just remember what the command is going to do and verify them before entering into the terminals. So these are the few basic commands we are going to see in this session, which is a date command, calendar command, clear command, ls, pwd, who, uptime, touch, rm, mkdir, cd, cat, time, cp, move command, last, reboot, poweroff, nslookup, dig command, tree command, stat, wc, whatis, whoami, whereis, man, info. So these are the helpline commands. Man, info, command, hyphen, help, df and du is the most useful commands in daily to daily activities. So let's jump into the terminal and see some practicals, all of these commands, so how we can do that. So here I am into the terminal. So the first command I am going to see is that date command. So basically date command is very most useful to check the date, and as well as if you would like to use any backup methods. For example, say I want to copy some of the files from one location to another location, or I wanted to take some file as a backup. So example, I wanted to copy some of the password file from somewhere else to somewhere else, /etc/password file. So I wanted to copy to tmp, but I would like to give this with the date command output. So just I would like to say that it should be in year format with month and date. So what happens while copying the file? So it will copy the file with the current date, today's year, date and month time. So year, month, date. So whenever you go to the /tmp here, sorry, then you can see that this is the file you have just copied from this location to this location with the date ended with that. So that way date can also be used in more ways, so that would be more useful in daily to daily activities. So that's way you can just use it. Or date, example, if you would like to print a previous day, date, something like that, hyphen date equal to hyphen, you can also provide -1 day. So it will print the previous date, like, so which was February 27, which is February 28 today, something like that. So you can also print 1 year ago, tomorrow, like this. Example, tomorrow. You can also enter something like this, or you can also enter something like last year, like year ago, something like this. So or 2 years ago, something like this, 1 year ago, or 2 years ago, something like this. So it will print all of this. So this will be very useful. Example, if you like to grab the previous dated folders or files, something like that, so you can also use this date formats and get this fetched on the script somewhere else. You can also use that. So one more thing is that calendar. So calendar is the command calendar, or if you want to enter a particular month date also, you can do that, something like this. Okay, so this way the calendar is very useful to see the dates whenever you would like to see that. So no need to go back and click on somewhere else and see what is the calendar or what is date or something like that. So even you can use this calendar over here to particular month or date or year, that you can find out the dates. Maybe this can also be printed in that what is the date format, like day format, like 1 2 3 65 days also it can print in the calendar. So clear is the command, so you can just use this to clear the command line from bottom to top. So you can also use Ctrl L to clear the screen. So that would be very useful for us to clear the screen and go up and type the commands. So that would be I'm doing always most of the times. Okay, so here you can also use ls command to list out the files in the current directory, or you can also list out the remote directory, which is different directory from your present working directory. Also you can list. So ls space the directory name and you can list out those files. So here ls has a many options to get this data, like ls-ltr. so you can just long list with the time on a recursive base. You can also see that what is the file and what is its permissions and what is its size of it, and when it is was what is the size of it and when it was created, all of these details. So it also have the custom formats, like if you would like to see this date and time format in a different customized format, you can also do that. Okay, so that has a feature to get the information of listing the files and directories. So if you want to list out example directories and identify the file, something like this, so you can also do. So here it is based out of the file type. You can identify that this is a directory, something like this. So this is the ls command. So the next one is pwd command. So pwd is present working directory, present working directory. So example, so whenever you are changing your directory from one directory to another directory, so to ensure that you are in a current directory where you are currently working. So example, I would like to work on / or log directory here. So where I am, so I just wanted to verify myself whether I am in a correct directory to execute the commands, or correct directory to copy some files from that location to another location or something like that. So that way you can just always verify before copying or moving some files from original location to temporary location or temporary location to original location. So be careful. So sometimes if you mismatch your present working directory, then you may replace old files with the new files. So that would be an issue on production systems. So the configuration may go wrong. So that's why always be sure that, and before that anything you are doing, so just verify the pwd through the present working directory condition, then copy or paste, move, whatever it is. So who is the command basically which gives the information like who is logged in from which IP address or which terminal is used, all of these details. And w also will give the similar details, but which is little bit extended, saying that when it was logged in and when it was logged out, what is the duration of it, and it also includes how many current users are logged in and what is the current load average on this system. So that's the different formats. So you can use w to estimate that whether the user when was logged in and what is this TTY, in the sense terminal is used, okay, and which from which terminal to which terminal is switched from user to user. All of these details you can just find out using this w command. Okay, so and one more thing is that uptime. So uptime is the very useful command. Whether is that what is the uptime of that particular server. Example, it was rebooted some time, then you can verify that whether the server is rebooted or not. You can just use uptime to verify that the server has been rebooted or not. Okay, and how many users are logged in, what is the load average of it, and current time stamp of the server. So that is the uptime command. So touch is the command, so which is used basically for creating the empty files. Example, like test, I would like to create a test file over here. You can see that is a test file has been created with empty, so you can just cat it. So there is no content in that particular file. So the basically cat is used to see the content of the file. Okay, so the touch is used basically to create the empty files. So rm command, so rm command is used to delete the files and directories. Example, if you would like to delete the file just created, then you can use the rm command. Then it says that removing the regular file is empty, you would like to delete or not. Yes, say if you say yes, then it will delete it. So example, if you would like to create a number of more files, so I just create some of the files over here, like 1 to 10 dot txt files. Then you can see that text files has been created. Then if you would like to delete those files, example test star, then it will ask each and every file saying that do you want to remove, do you want to remove. So if you have multiple files, then keep on saying yes. That is a very time taking process and it much irritating process for us. So instead of that, so if you say -f, do not ask anything, forcefully delete that file, then just enter. So then it will delete those files. Be careful when you are deleting this with the star options. Okay, so if you would like to delete any directory, example, I just created test file directory here. You would like to create it, delete it, then with the option F also it won't delete. But always whenever you are deleting the directory, you just use the R option. So it is a recursive option to delete the directory in a R. So mkdir is basically used to create the files, directories, mkdir, and with the path where you would like to create it. You want to create it in a current directory, you need to specify any path to create the directory. So you can say that test folder directory 1, something like that. So I just created 2 directories. So if you'd like to create parent directories, so example directory under directory under directory, so you can also do that. mkdir-p, you have to use it. test1, test2, test3, and Ravi is the directory. So you just created, and if you want to go to those directories test1, then you can simply change it to those directory, something like this. So that way you can use the mkdir command to create the directory. So mkdir in the sense make directory. So the cd is changing the directory from one directory to another another directory. So if you would like to switch from one directory to another directory, you can always use cd. So if you want to go back again where you came from, you can just use cd -. So we'll go back to the path, and again use cd-, so we will come back where you were. So cd- will be used always to the previous directories. So here whenever you observing -ls-la, so here there are 2 directories, one is dot and another is a dot. So one is a dot which is represent your current directory, dot which represent its parent directory, which means that is a upper directory to that particular directory. So then if you want to change to the upper directory, you can simply use cd dot, which means that you are changing to upper directory. Here you can see you change from test3 to test2. if you want to change back again, go back one level up, then you can also use one more cd dot dot. Then if you type cd dot, then you are not going anywhere, so you are in same directory still. So this way cd can be used. Otherwise, if you want to change the complete path, example cd log, then you can change to that particular directory path over here like this. So, and one more command is that time. So time is showing that exactly what is the command execution time of the command. So this is very useful. Sometimes you wanted to troubleshoot slowness of the server, then you can simply estimate the time, like what is the command has been took for execute that. So you can see that ls-la command has been took really 4 seconds, which means that 0.004 seconds, which is a milliseconds. In a real time user was 1 second and system took 3 seconds, so the total 4 seconds, which means that 4 milliseconds it was used to execute this command. So that way you can estimate the time based on that, how much the command or any process is taking to execute that. Before any of the execution, you just add time, so it will show that execution time of that particular command or script or whatever it is. Okay, so and copy. So copy is mostly used to copy the files and directories from one location to another location. Example that copy, so you just specify the source folder over here, okay, and destination folder. So this is the thumbnail for copying the any files and directories. Okay, so you just use copy and source directory, source file. I would like to copy this anaconda to directory 1, example this file, then enter. Then you can just go to directory and execute that. See that there is a file has been copied. And when you want to copy the file with appropriate time details and everything, example if you see that, so the directory 1 file has been copied over here with a different time, right? And the file which was previously exist, the file was in a December 7 it was created, but the current file is copied time is February 28. But I don't want it to differentiate the file with the timestamp and everything, so it just make preserving the options cp-p and say anaconda. I just wanted to copy to directory 1 and say yes. Now if I verify the date and time, all of the things, so it should be similar to the this one and this one. So we should be same file properties. So that way we can use the cp command to copy the files and with the preserving. If you want to copy the directories, example most of the times when I was in a beginners, so I just used to copy something like this. So which says not specified -r not specified omitting directory test1. So this is little bit improved over here. Before it was coming error line something like this, omitting directory test1. So which means that what happens, so directory is not copy. So always whenever you are copying any directory, you just use -r as an option, then only the directory will be copied from one directory to another directory, otherwise it will not copy. Okay, so one more thing is that mv command. So mv command in the sense move the files and directories from one location to another location. Otherwise you can also use the move command to rename the files and directories as well. Example move directory 1, so I would like to create directory 1 something like this, so which will be renamed from directory, so dir 1 to directory 1. So otherwise if you want to move example directory 1 completely to test1, So you can also move that directory. So it was moved from here to test1 location. You can see it was moved. So if you want to move back again directory to /root, so this is the source and destination. So always you have to provide move source destination, so where you want to move this directory. So this way you can just copy paste, copy move, play with that command. Then you can also see there is a command called last. So last is very useful. Example, when is your system has been rebooted, who logged in, from which IP address is logged in, and when is logged in and when is logged out. All of this details will be provided in a last command. So if you wanted to filter only reboots, you can also use the last -reboot is the option. So you can just filter only reboots from the last command. So this would be very useful when you want to investigate whether it is a crashed server, or example it was normally shut down, rebooted, or something happened to the server. Then you bring up the server, then you can simply verify this last command to verify all of the details. So one more thing is that in a new way, if you wanted to reboot your systemctl, you can also use reboot option over here, systemctl reboot. Then you can just enter it, the system will go and reboot the system. So this is one way. And if you want to completely power off your system in case of any power maintenance or something like that, you can also use systemctl power off. Currently I am not doing this reboot and power off because this will take time to bring back, and again I have to connect back to the system. So you can just systemctl reboot or power off will take system will be rebooted or powered off. Okay, do not enter any of these commands in any of the production missions, so it will go off. So one thing is that nslookup. So the nslookup is the main thing is that if you would like to resolve from IP address to name or name to MAC address, example you wanted to verify whether your DNS is working properly or not, then you can simply use nslookup. Example, say that I would like to resolve google.com. So then you can find out that what is your DNS server, and whether it caused deep authenticated authoritative answer or non-authoritative answer, and what is the name of that site you just resolved it, and what is the server IP address. So you can see that it's IPv6 IP address and IPv4 IP address. And if you would like to resolve back from IP address to name, so you can even do that. So you can see that this IP has been resolved, something like this. So the server name is MA03S0-in F14, something like this. Okay, so this is exactly server name which exactly you are looking for, but the domain was mapped to this one, so which is authoritative, not a authoritative answer. So that's why nslookup will be used to find out the exact details. But in nslookup you may not find more details like which server it got or whether it got the proper answer or not. You can simply use the dig command, so which will be provide more details in like how much time it took and what is the record name, whether it is a PTR record or it's a mail record or whatever it is, like authoritative section of the details. You can see that, and with the server details, how many seconds it was take to resolve the DNS entry. So 142 milliseconds it took to resolve this, and all of the information would be provided with the dig-x. So how many queries, how many answers, how many authorities, whether it is authoritative or whether it is a additional information, all of these details will be provided in the X, so that if your DNS is not properly working, you can simply type this way, then you can get this total information, like where it was failing exactly, whether you have a DNS record proper or not. So that the two commands to execute your checking your DNS entries. And one more thing is the tree command. So tree command will be used whether you would like to see, like example, I would like to provide level 1 something like this here. So you can see that, like I would like to see a slash level 1, and you can see under the slash these are the directories present with the level 1. So enter tree type directory structure. So which directory has which folders and files. If you want to see that, you can just type tree and provide the folder name. So detailed information will be provided by that directory path. You can see that tree under root directory. So how many files and directories are there? You can see file directory, under the directory this file is there, under this directory. So directory paths will be something like this. So these are all the details, like tree like structure to the files and directories. You can simply use, whether if you have any application, the application whether properly formatted files and directories are there or not, structured data is there or not, you can simply verify using the tree command. So one more is that stat command. So the stat command is very useful to basically verify the security measures of the files, like when is the file was accessed, modified, changed, all of this information with context of that security context. Example, if you are doing some security audits, or example, suppose the file not to be modified or accessed by any of the users or anything, then you can simply identify that when is accessed and when it is modified, when it is changed, all of this timestamp information with the file name, file size, and where was the device path, and inode number, block number, all of these details, whether it is a regular file, it has any links, all the details information with the access levels. So this would be more detailed information about the files and directories. You can simply stat that file or directory, you can get this information from the file or directory. One more thing is that simply WC, so it used for word count, something like that. Example, say I would like to cat anaconda file, then I would like to count that. So how many words, how many letters, how many lines it has. So all of this information over here. So this many characters we have, this many words, and this many lines. So example, if you'd like to see only lines, how many lines you have, you can say -L, or how many characters are there, you can say -M, and how many words are there, you can simply say W. So this way you can simply count those lines, words, characters on that particular file using the WC command. And sometimes you wanted to see that what exactly is the command is going to do, you don't know what this command you wanted to verify, then you can simply say what is ls. So it will provide some information saying that where it was from and what this direct command is going to do. So example, ls top, say top display Linux processes. So ls command will do listing the directory contents. So that way you can simply know that whether what this command is going to do. So example, who am I? So which user you have currently logged in, then you can simply type who am I. So this would be more useful when you are trying to do any additional activities or administrator activities. You can simply use this whoam command, so that you can find out which user you have logged in. You wanted to find out like where is ls command is, so you can simply see, so the ls command is associated with these files. So these are the manual pages of that particular command, and this is the command path. Or example, say whereis pwd command. So this is the command path and associated man pages. So this way you can simply find out what is whoam, whereis. So it would be a little bit detailed information about those commands, exactly where was the path from and all of the information. And you can also use man pages to read about the any commands. Man space command name, man space cd, man space cd, so cd commands, or man space ls command details, or man space top command, so top command details. All of these details you wanted to verify. Most of the commands, so 90 to 95% of the commands will have the man pages. So few of the customized commands or customized scripts may not have the man pages, so you can use man space command name to read the information about that particular command's man pages to understand its options and what's going to do all of this information. So info is also one more command which also reads the man pages, but it's in a different formats and it's different way of reading the information about that particular command. So you can also read ls-l, which will show the short list of the options of those particular command. So you can see that ls-l or cd-l, so which will show the exact details of that particular command, options with options. And mostly used df command. So basically df command is used to determine how many mount points you have and their utilization, which means that how many disks you have and disk utilization information you can find out over here. So df-h is the human readable format, and -x example you wanted to remove one of the temporary file system from the table listing, so you can also use -x. So this way you can simply list only the actual file system details, not the temp file systems. Or if you want to find out what exactly is the file system of the mount points, you can also use -t here, so you can find out this file system type is xfs, ext4 or iso file or temporary device temporary file system. So this df command would be easy to use and very useful whenever you wanted to verify your usage, what is the mount point usage and what is the available space of it and what is the total size of it. So that's the df command do. And one more thing is that example you want to estimate what is the size of the particular file or directory, then you can simply use do-sh, then example provide the file name so that it will give you the file or directory size. What is the size of that particular file or directory? So example, if you want to do entire file information, something like this, you can also find out what exactly is the /etc size, so which shows 29 MB here. So that way s is used for human readable format and s is the size information about that particular directory or file. So these are all the commands. Example are most I have covered 32 commands in this session. So that would be basic commands you can just use in your regular administration life or the Linux administration life. So these are the very mandatory commands to learn for the as a beginner. Then go for it. If you have any questions, comment on the comment box. If you have any related questions you would like to ask personally, you can simply mail on this mail address, which also available on the description. If you would like to join our Telegram group or WhatsApp group to combine with the different administrators, if you have any questions, you can free to ask in the group, so that they provide some material, content, directions or job information if they have available any with the other administrations. So that's about it guys for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos and courses.